When people talk about financial secrets, they usually mean a hidden stock tip, a loophole, or a trendy algorithmic strategy. But the real secret to enduring wealth isn't a strategy at all. It is a mindset that has been refined over 3,000 years of tradition. In the Western world, we are taught to accumulate. We are told that money is a scorecard of our personal success. But ancient Jewish wisdom teaches something entirely different. Money is not something you own. It is something you manage. In Hebrew, there is a concept called Pikadon, which translates to a custody or a trust. Think of yourself not as the master of your wealth, but as the chief financial officer of a fund that has been entrusted to you by the Almighty. When you look at your bank account through the lens of stewardship, your emotional relationship with money changes. You stop panicking during market downturns, and you stop hoarding during times of plenty. A good CFO doesn't let the funds sit idle in a vault. They deploy it to do good and to grow safely. If you look into the Talmud, specifically a tractate called Baba Metzia 42a, you will find the oldest asset allocation strategy in human history. Written over 1,500 years ago, it states, "A man should always divide his money into 3 parts, a third in land, a third in merchandise, and a third ready to hand." Let's translate that ancient wisdom into modern terms. A third in land. This is your real estate, your home, or hard assets that hedge against inflation. A third in merchandise. This is business enterprise. Today that means stocks, index funds, or owning a piece of a business that creates value and produces cash flow. A third, ready to hand. This is your liquidity. Your cash reserves, high-yield savings, or short-term bonds that ensure you never have to sell your long-term assets during an emergency. Modern financial advisors call this asset diversification and liquidity management. The Talmud called it common sense 15 centuries ago. Now here's the counterintuitive part of the secret. To make money work for you, you must be willing to give a portion of it away. In Judaism, we do not call this charity. We call it Tzedakah, which fundamentally means justice or righteousness. The tradition requires giving a minimum of 10% of your net income to those in need. From a purely mathematical standpoint, losing 10% looks like a deficit. But from a psychological and spiritual standpoint, it is a multiplier. Tzedakah prevents your wealth from turning into an idol. It forces you to look at your finances with an abundance mindset rather than a scarcity mindset. When you practice regular giving, you train your brain to believe that you always have more than enough. So how do you make this work for you today? 3 simple steps. Shift your perspective. Review your budget this week not as an owner, but as a trusted steward. Check your thirds. Look at your assets. Are you overexposed in cash or too heavily exposed in volatile markets without a safety net? Automate your giving. Set aside your tzedakah first before you pay for your lifestyle. Wealth is like water. If it sits still, it becomes stagnant and toxic. But if it flows out into the community and into productive investments, it brings life to everything it touches. May you be blessed with the wisdom to manage your wealth and the strength to use it well. Shalom, and I will see you in the next video.